Hi, I'm Peter Tragos, host of the Lawyer You Know podcast and YouTube channel. The saying goes, everyone hates lawyers until you need one. Well, I'm here when you need one to answer your questions and give you insight that you didn't know you needed. Along with my partners, Pete Sardis, the professor, who has a finance and business background, and George Tragos, my dad, and the consigliere, a criminal defense giant, we can answer any questions you have.
What's up, everybody? It's Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, and today we are giving you an update on Vanessa Bryant's lawsuit that has gone to trial against LA County. We will talk about what some of the witnesses have said and which way it feels like this case is going. So before we jump into the trial update, I want to say thank you to Kim R., who has sent me the newest golf swag here from the Four Seasons Resort at Hualalai in Hawaii, which is amazing. I've heard it's an amazing resort with an amazing golf course, so I'm very happy to sport this golf shirt in today's video as we break down yet another trial that continues. Vanessa Bryant did take the stand in this trial. Her gripping testimony was kind of in culmination when she described how she felt when she heard about the helicopter crash, and the quote was, "I had to either try to live my life or end it." And we heard from a lot of witnesses. The most important ones, I feel like, for the context of the case and how I kind of feel like the case is going based on all reports, is what the employees of the county are actually testifying to as to why they took these pictures, whether or not they were instructed to, why they deleted them, who they showed them to, was there any legitimate purpose for them. So we will get to those. But first, I just want to describe a little bit about how the coroner described the scene as utter carnage. You couldn't even tell who was who based on the body parts. They were identifying people based on skin tone and other markings because the bodies and the parts and the gruesome result of the helicopter crash made it almost impossible to tell who was who. And as the deputies and captains were at the scene and all the LA County employees, and they were taking these pictures, they admit that their curiosity got the better of them. They believed it was part of their job, or they said they did it to alleviate stress. There's all sorts of inconsistencies with a lot of the testimonies at trial and their previous depositions that have been taken. But for the most part, these officers and firefighters and LA County employees are admitting wrongdoing and admitting that they had no legitimate purpose. But the sheriff, Alex Villanueva, said that he did tell everybody, it was the department-wide basically, to delete these things because he did not want to let those photos see the light of day. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to tell you about the most damning testimony for LA County. We're going to save it till the end. But first, I want to get to what some of the officers said. Officer Jordan was one of them. He claimed to not remember anything about the crash scene, even though he was there and took photos. He needed multiple breaks and had to stop his testimony multiple times because he just couldn't get through it. He said that he did not want to testify. He fought to not want to come. His attorneys tried to do everything to block it, said he was ordered by his doctors to refrain from discussing this because of his psychological health. It was a tragic event that really affected him. He said he was here because of false allegations, and he really didn't want to take his brain and his mind back to the crash because of how it affected him. But he also told the jury that he doesn't even remember being at the crash. So some inconsistent testimony there. He said he did take pictures, but he said he was instructed by his superior to take pictures. And he sent them to the fire chief, Tony Imbrenda, at Tony Imbrenda's request. And he said he didn't think that he did anything wrong. He didn't think that it was offensive because he was told to send those photos to Tony Imbrenda. Tony Imbrenda was one of the ones that showed those pictures at an awards ceremony, and somebody complained there. But Officer Jordan just sent the pictures to people that asked, and it didn't seem like there was any evidence that he showed them to his friends or did anything appropriate with them. But the reason why he took the photos was difficult to kind of ascertain based on his testimony. And again, he did send them to other people for no legitimate law enforcement purpose. But from his perspective, his supervisor told him to take them. And then someone from the fire department that was also superior told him to send him over there. He did say in his deposition, he didn't say now, that it was pictures of Kobe Bryant's burnt up body, even though he testified now that he wasn't sure whose body it was or he doesn't remember saying things like that. Another deputy, Cruz, said that he made a misjudgment when he showed the crash scene photos to a bartender. We heard about that. 2 days after the crash. He said, I took it too far, and he was overwhelmed at being at the crash and being part of such a big, horrifying event. Cruz's friend, who was that bartender, was one of the ones that basically ratted him out and said that he showed him pictures of Kobe Bryant, although Cruz said he doesn't remember telling the bartender that it was actually Kobe Bryant because he didn't know who it was because you couldn't tell who was who based on the coroner's report of what the crash scene was like. Again, this was a little different from his deposition. He was impeached with his deposition, and the lawyers are basically saying, well, which is true? Did you know it was Kobe Bryant, or did you say it was Kobe Bryant, or did you not know who it was? They also said, you knew if somebody filed a complaint. Was that complaint true? And Cruz said, I knew that the complaint was true. Again, he's being impeached because he didn't necessarily say that at the time of his deposition. All right, and a bunch of other law enforcement and county employees were testifying in this trial, and they said things like, I took 25 photos, including close-ups of human remains. I did not need to take those photos. There was no legitimate purpose for me taking those photos. I regretted taking those photos. It's not that I was intentionally trying to lie about anything. It was just a lapse in memory because a lot of them were impeached by their prior deposition testimony where a lot of them said, I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. I didn't do this. I don't even remember being there. I don't remember what I took photos of. I don't remember what I did with the photos. I don't remember when I deleted them. I don't remember why I deleted them. But now they have a lot more answers. A tech expert testified and said that based on his analysis, they violated fundamental forensic policies by deleting the photos they deleted. Which leads us to the most damning testimony, in my opinion, for the county, which was from Sheriff Villanueva. He testified that the longer they delayed, it was a universe that was expanding infinitely. He provided new insight saying that he did tell people to delete these photos. And here it is. Dealing with a crisis is more important than policies, Villanueva said as he described the initial crash scene as utter bedlam, with fans and media descending upon the ravine. There was no playbook for a situation like this. He wanted to make sure the threat of the looky-loos was taken care of, and he wanted to preserve the scene for federal investigations. So when an officer goes about saying that controlling the media is more important than policies, or how something looks or what might be seen is more important than doing things right, and how there's no book on how to handle a situation like this, that should scare us as citizens. That should not, we don't want one man or woman or anybody making that decision when something like this is happening, if it's our family or our community or people we know or people we love. We should not want officers making that kind of decision or being able to go rogue or making some judgment call that, yeah, they can take pictures, or yeah, we got to do this quickly, or we got to rush through this, or we got to break policy or not follow the handbook because it doesn't take this situation into account. That is damning to me. That is why they should lose. That is why I think they will lose in the end. I don't know what the verdict's going to be. We'll see, but I think there will be some kind of negative repercussion and action against LA County as a result of their actions, their policy breaking, their immoral actions of taking pictures of these remains, showing it to people, no legitimate purpose, breaking policy, deleting everything, covering their tracks. We cannot have law enforcement agencies doing something like this. We cannot allow them to cover it up. We cannot allow this to continue, especially in this public nature, because God forbid other agencies see this and say, oh, this is the proper way to handle things. And you'd be surprised how something like this happens and then a domino effect happens across the country. So let's put a pin in it now. I think that the Bryant family is doing a service to the country and law enforcement agencies across the nation by putting an end to practices like this and putting an end to just throwing the book out and throwing policies out because there may be some media attention. Let's do it right. Let's follow policies and procedures. Let's create proper policies and procedures and hold people to them. If you have these policies and procedures, you better be held to them, because if you're not, you should get sued and you should be held accountable like they are in this case. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about this case. And we'll continue to follow it if you guys are interested, and you can let me know that by hitting the like button, and make sure you subscribe to our page if you haven't already for more content like this. So thanks for being with us. Until next time.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Lawyer You Know. If you like this content, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our page and like our videos. If you want some interaction, get in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to know any more information about our firm or this page, you can find out in the description or visit tragoslaw.com. We post multiple times throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notification and not miss out on the next episode.